and today we're going to talk about the dark snows. Now, believe it or not, it's late April and I live in Sweden. I live in a little place just outside of Stockholm called Nacka, and not all the time, but sometimes at the end of spring or in the middle of spring we do get some snow, and that was one of the reasons why I wrote this story, one of the ideas that came from it. The beginning reason of writing this story was to write a scary story. That's all I really wanted to do. But then me and Sarah got talking about, that's Sarah over there with Nimley, got talking about what was truly scary. I mean, I like a monster story, I like a scary story, but what's really frightening, I think, is when you lose yourself. And I've had some experience with people with Alzheimer's, and it's a truly terrible disease. And I think it's when people you know and love can't recognize you, or when you can't start to recognize people, it becomes very scary and truly terrifying. So I wanted to take that further, make it even worse by having it happen very quickly and have it happen to everybody. The other aspect of this story, of course, is climate change. When I wrote that story, a report had come out about climate change that was very frightening, so I thought that by combining these two fears into one would give me a different story, which I hope it has. I think with snowfall, we watch on the internet or we read articles, and with climate change or war or anything that's happening around the world, we always think it's so far away. So I wanted to show that some things, if it's going to affect the world, it's going to affect all of us. So we need to try and do our best to make things better. But I'm a positive writer. I tend to see hope. So that's why in this story I imagine, although I haven't written a sequel yet, I'm going to, but I imagine the rebuilding of the world. People coming back together, finding out who they were, and also they'll be learning about the bad things that happened and the good things, and hopefully it will be a clean, fresh start for them to create a new world, which I think every generation can. I think we don't have to follow patterns or what's happened before. We can change. Years ago, we had societies which were completely unequal. Our societies were built purely on power and the subjugation of the weak, and we've changed that with parliaments, with people protesting, with new technology. The wind's really picking up. I'm getting a lot of cold snow in my face at the moment. You can probably hear it. So the characters in the story, Rika and her brothers Simon and Amiri, and her parents, with them, they just kind of emerged as I was beginning to think about the story. I wanted the final snowfall or the end scenes to be set somewhere where you just couldn't possibly imagine snow, and the Cook Islands and Rarotonga, out there in the middle of the sea in the lovely hot climate, was kind of the last place I could imagine snow falling. So that's why it ended up being set there. And that happens when you write stories sometimes. If you think where you want it, it helps you to choose your characters and helps you identify how they would talk and what interests they might have. So I know that rugby's really big for Kiwi girls and boys, so I wanted some rugby in there. And yeah, okay, so that's the Dark Snows. I'll talk to you next time. I hope it's warmer where you are, because it's really cold in Sweden at the moment. Okay, bye.